The beauty here is in the silence. Music is there where the silence starts. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video we are continuing our story through the Mozart Sonata number 7 in C major, Recapitulation 309, with a video on the first movement a few weeks back. And now we are zooming in on the Andante poco adagio. This is a mind-blowing piece. It's one of the most beautiful adagios, andantes I know. I cannot say that because there are so many beautiful andantes and adagios, but it's like top music. You really want to know this. And this is a sonata that I don't think is very well known, and it's partly maybe because of the first movement. We talked about the challenges and the risks in that other video. Check it out if you haven't done so already. Mozart composed this piece in Mannheim. He was still very young. He was traveling through Europe, trying to find a job. Mannheim was musical capital of that time, had the best orchestra in the world, and Mozart really wanted to stay there. It didn't succeed in doing that. I'm gonna play it for you, a few bars, and then we're gonna elaborate on the music. So I'm actually playing these pieces according to metronomizations done by Carl Czerny, who was born in 1791, so very close to Mozart. So this Czerny gives 8th note 100. So 1, 2, tak, tak, tak are the 16th notes. That's just the opening, and if you would page through it, it's like basically around this idea is elaborating there, in the sense that he is always making a variation of the same musical material. And I was playing it for you now, and I was thinking about what I said in the introduction, like we have more rhetorical elements to talk about here. And in a way that's true compared to the first movement, but it's also not true because it is again around the same idea. So again, we're talking here about something very important, which are the rests. These rests are critical. If you play over them, like we talked about in the first movement videos as well about this, like if you play over them, if you make them too short, like many musicians do, many professional musicians do, they fear the silence of the moment. And then this music lacks its beauty. The beauty here, and that's in many instances the case, is in the silence. Music is there where the silence starts. That's actually what Mozart said, something along the lines of that. So I'll demonstrate to you what happens when you have the full length of the 8th note and when you don't. That's a huge difference. And then we're going to talk about the length of the F, this one, that is critical in announcing and in preparing the silence. The silence has a certain weight. You have to give it the weight. You have to prepare the silence, and you do that by releasing the F in the proper way. That's high level stuff. If you master that, the release of those notes, then you are entering like a domain where you can really work with preparing dynamics for next notes. Much of the art of keyboard playing, organ, piano, harpsichord, is in the release of the keys. But let's forget about this. I will talk about that more whenever we have our learning platform. And the proper way, you do it like this, and the proper way, as I feel it. So hopefully you got the impression that when I started with the second motive, to the enhancing of the question of like the longing to something, that you felt the energy there on the first beat. It felt like on the right spot. What happens if you do not respect the rest? And you would be surprised how many, even professional musicians, how many recordings are made like that. People are afraid of silence. And of course, if you play it much faster, then what is left of the character? I mean, if you take the metronome, literally Czerny marks the 8 notes here. Like, a poco adagio, there is not much adagio in there anymore, is it? Is there? And so these rests are very important. And then emphasis, length of the note. I release very like you hear tone. Clavichord is fantastic for that. It is written for clavichord, doubtlessly in Mannheim, with all these expression marks. It was basically, yeah, you had pianofortes at the time, but very, very early ones. And then square pianos more than the pianos we would know later. And if you don't know much of the history of that, these pianos had not the ability to give all the nuances that the clavichord has. But anyways, releasing it, and then you have these, they go very naturally. I'm not doing anything but releasing properly and waiting for the first beat, because you as a listener have that beat in your blood already. So that's one thing. And then it's like, what is this piece about? Why is this so effective? It's a contemplative music. I mean, how do you say that? Like, it's reflective. There's like an answer to the first movement in a way. You've seen the scene in the first movement, if you remember, like the girl walking in the park and the guy looking at her a little bit hidden from behind the tree. Just a story. But now it's reflecting, we're reflecting on that, and it's like very introvert. That's a statement. You're sitting on a bench on your room, and that's like, what happened? Stronger. I didn't dream. I really didn't. There's a confirmation. And you have these figures like, don't play it like this. You have to jump. It's like, sing it. You have to like heavy. You see the difference? If I don't do anything, so, or I make it, I'm kind of stealing time, but of course again, try it, but it's difficult. You need experience in order to do it. It's like adding pepper to the soup and salt. If you do it too much, the soup will be uneatable. And there we are. And then we continues like little staccato marks, like also an indication of tempo. You can play it like this. You can play it like yum, pom, pom, pom. All small details, but so effective. You see that every few bars, every few beats, you have like a big relief, like a sigh. And again, own it. Forte. What shall we do with this? Okay. So rhetorically, this is like a masterclass. You have a motive. You use the same motive, just a little bit higher, to raise the attention, to pose the same question. Then you have like the culmination of that question comes to a closure. Again, recapitulation. Is it really true? And then again, always, you know, Mozart here is like, he stands still with the same idea. He doesn't want to move forward. And then on top of that, whenever we have, at the end, when we had all of that, just starts it over again. So no recapitulation signs. He makes the recapitulation himself. He's doing that more often, by the way. So playing second repeats, yes or no, in Mozart's work, I think yes, because he omits those recapitulation sign, repeat signs when he doesn't want you to do that. And oftentimes Beethoven would be actually, he would continue that tradition, like of really indicating what he wants. So Mozart is here doing the recapitulation, the repeat himself, elaborating. But we are, again, at the beginning, exactly the same. And so we repeat that, a little bit elaboration here, where we have like a little bit of a different, a more firm closure. And now you would expect here something different, but what is he doing? Just elaborating. Difficult. I mean, whoever can tell me what you really have to do here. It's on the beat, that I know. But in combination with the 32nd here. And then it continues with that figure. But the same thing. Always the same pause here. And now as a listener, you expect it. Because it's a blessing. If you listen to that rest and you can just wait for, like you are in this, the beat, the tempo becomes your musical experience. That's how important it is. You expect that. You are kind of in a trance. It's like hypnosis. Always the same character. And very fragile, very tender. Elaborate. Again, sigh. I mean, just continuing the speculative story of Mozart, like really liking the girl a lot. This is a beautiful reflection of that, like very internal conversation, always about the same thing. We are here now. Speeding up with the ornaments, but again, sigh. Can we have something different? No. Elaboration, yes. Again, there you have your rest. Here it is. elaboration, but the same feeling, same character. Rest. Mozart even marks it with a kind of staccato mark. It's not really staccato, but accentuation shorter. Elaboration with the same motif, like. Conclusion. And now we get something new. There's a girl again in the park. So if you come here from these 30-second notes, and of course it gives a certain, like when you double the note value, you're doubling the tempo. Not the absolute tempo, but the relative tempo. As you still have the same beats, but you have an elaboration on top of that. So you have more notes in the same amount of time. That's a relative speeding up. And then you fall back to 8 notes. That's very difficult for many musicians and listeners as well, because you feel like, again, like you must go there, like it's like people play today. You see it also when they sit at the piano like that. But it's like the same. We check the tempo. You just relax. We are still in the same reflective mode. Singing. Now, going hand in hand, left hand and right. As if there were 2 people now. Again, cadenza. And now we arrive with a passage that is like a mystery for me. It works, but only if you listen to the entire piece, because this is coming back and then Mozart is elaborating on that. It's not really essential, but like just to say like this is Mozart really bringing everything to a bare minimum. So we are here now, and you see there are only 8 notes, and the right hand seems to develop, but harmonically this is very strange what happens. This is okay. But you would expect that he's doing something here. And now, this is for me like double B flat. So really, this is music that is without any elaboration, nothing. It's just as if Mozart still has to elaborate on this. He's doing that later. I think he's doing this for the contrast. He's bringing everything to like its real minimum. And now you are with this beat. There's the only thing you want. You're a prisoner of Mozart's beat, actually. In a way, it's so beautiful. Trill on the 16th note here. That is your tempo indication, as Mozart's father wrote in his book. There's always a passage, a place, a note, a motif, he says, where you find the intention of the composer in regards of tempo. Someone who's giving a trill on the 16th is thinking in 16th probably. And what is he doing now? Going back to the beginning. And this is continuing, like unbelievable. So you have now a repetition of everything again, but more elaborated. Like for instance, when you have, we had the passage here where we have these notes here, they come back here, but more elaborated. Now you have 30-second. Here again, the passage where both hands go hand in hand. Again, tempo indicator, strong. There's a trill. And so on. And then you have the elaborated passage that we talked about. And then he continues, and then he just closes the piece, like at the end, with a little bit of a cadenza. I mean, unbelievable sonata. And that I know I'm saying that of every piece of Mozart that we touch because it's true. But this is a sonata, again, as I said in the beginning of the first, the introduction of the video I made on the first movement. It was a difficult sonata for me to enter, to approach, because of the minimalistic approach that Mozart had. Once you accept that as a given, and as something that you have to discover, because Mozart must have had a master plan in mind, then of course this musical paradise opens. And this sonata, guys, is for you. Like if you've not played it and you played the piano a few years, go and try it in the tempo that I played right now, and then forget about the Mozart performances of today, like very fast and very virtuosic. It's fine when people do that. But that's an updated performance practice. It's like an evolution from that time. Of course, we're still much in that kind of this 19th century progressive or I would say intention of like idea of progress. While we think that we play how people played 250 years ago, but that's not the case, and we can see that through that stupid thing here. Okay. But that's for another time, and for the learning platform. I'm strongly thinking about starting it, but I will notify you through the email list or here in the video. There's a link in the description box. If you haven't signed up for my email list, that's the best way of getting notifications once we release things. The Mozart project, the Mozart recording, for instance, in the future. So sign up for that. In the meantime, thank you for being here. I thank my Patreons for making all of this possible. Check it out if it is something for you. We have an awesome community there. And there's a lot of content, behind the scenes, updates. We have the video version of the podcast is there for you, and much more. That was all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching, and we see each other very soon again. Bye.